Hello everyone, I am Mila and I'm a manifestation coach, a mindset coach really, because it's all coming from the mind. But really, most importantly, I'm a magician and I'm here to awaken your superpowers. Let's talk about the big G word. Let's talk about God. Whether you believe or not does not matter. But play with me for a minute. And let's say that God exists. And what is God? Can we say that God is everything? That everything has been created by God? So in a way, God is this umbrella that contains everything. Everything that is, everything that was, everything that will be, everything that could be, all the possibilities. And you are in it. You are a part of it. But since this thing not only created everything, but is everything, and also talking about it, the past tense is kind of obsolete because this time thing is totally man-made. So let's say that this thing, which is everything, has access to different viewpoints through the different sets of eyes that all things have. But it's even deeper than that. It's actually consciousness experiencing itself as this endless amount of facets with the time and space components added to it for more fun. Well, actually, because this thing could not experience itself if there was not this illusion of distance, because you can't experience one thing if it's just one thing. So it has to extrapolate itself into at least one other thing. I'd like to find a better example. You cannot experience having parts if you are one stub, one trunk. So you have limbs and arms, and these two hands can interact with each other because they're seemingly separate, but they're controlled by one mind. So we can use this analogy for the whole entire universe. And we could actually talk about the fact that it's not a universe, but it's actually a multiverse. And also that this thing that we can call God or everything has a recipe or a pattern that is applicable to everything. Kind of like this hermetic law saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. But let's use an image to describe this, and it's often described as the holographic nature of reality. So basically, a hologram is a 2D image that looks 3D. And if you divide parts of the hologram, you discover that each part contains an image of the whole. And that's how, when you move the 2D image, you can have a 3D reflection, depending on what angle you're moving the piece it's on. So this is applicable to us. Let's say that God is a thing that it contains everything, and everything is you. Everything includes you, but everything is you. That's where I'm going. So, because it's a holographic universe, a holographic universe, you contain the image of everything. Let's say you actually contain all the parts of everything, even though you're one. The one contains everything. And that means that you as a being have access to everything in your mind, right? Because this mind is the tool that is not separate from anything, right? Okay, so you see me, I'm different than you, I'm outside of you, I'm making this video, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but close your eyes. Can you see distance? No. The inside experience we're having is connected to everything. That is one of your superpowers. Especially when you start identifying yourself with this everythingness that you are, which is not your body, which is not your name, which is not your personality. That's your avatar. That's the set of eyes that this everything came to experience via this vessel. Where do you think most of your power is? Is it in your physical self that has to putter around in the linear timeline to get from point A to point B with all these obstacles that you have to jump over and figure out how to solve problems? Or is it via your mind where everything is accessible in an instant, where time does not exist? Consider this for a minute. And whether you believe in God or not, how you use this mind creates your reality. So if you want to attach yourself to being reasonable and to be pragmatic and to be practical, which is your left brain, the actions that your left brain are providing for you, which is a tool, but you don't have to identify with it. So what happens if you just shift your mind to the other side of your brain and give that part of yourself more room, more validity? Don't you think that it's gonna impact what shows up in your reality? For starters, how you view things? Of course, because it's your perspective that directs the energy. It's your perspective, what you say is true or not for you, what you say you're allowed to experience or not. Those are your set of rules. But what happens if you blow up the box? If you let go of those rules, even just for a fraction of a second, to entertain different ideas that are, you could say, well, that are not making sense to your linear self? You're going to experience a different version of reality. And what if all these versions that are accessible to you right now via your mind are all equal. There's no judgment whatsoever. If this thing called everything, big G word, contains everything, it is everything. So it's not judging any of its parts. If one part is not admitted and must be destroyed, that's not everything anymore. But the same is true for you. So what happens if you start loving yourself fully, wholesomely, with all of your parts, with the good, the bad, the ugly, but like really like appreciating this roundedness of your being, not just the positive vector that you're trying to portray to everyone, saying like, yeah, this is me, watch the hand, watch the hand. Well, there's a whole slew of negative thoughts and self-beliefs you hold on to. Just love it all. Love it all. Try that for a minute and watch what happens. Because seriously, guys, we are, not by nature, but by habit, running, chasing after something outside of us, often to get validity that we get or not get from the outside world, where actually the shortcut is just giving it to yourself. And often what it looks like is that you start not giving a shit of what other people think of you, because that belongs to them. So you're happy in your kingdom, in your queendom. You're having yourself a party with all of your parts, because that's the nature of life. Everything has to include everything in order to be everything. Then what happens? You start having a whole lot more fun with yourself, in your life. And since reality is a reflection of what you're doing inside, well, your life starts being a whole lot more fun. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't be a stranger. Give me the thumbs up if this video resonates, and subscribe to my channel so that you are part of the vibe and the tribe that we are here embodying together. All right, well, sending you a whole lot of love, and have a magnificent day. Until next time.